Hello and welcome along to Adobe After Effects Techniques with your host Robert Smith. In this video we're going to look at actually handling videos inside After Effects. That is either shot videos on a camera or videos that you might have generated inside After Effects. So let's have a look at that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import my movies. So if I just double click over here in my project window, and I've got 4 movies here I want to import. So I'll just open those, and I'll come into my library. You'll notice there's no options on the way in. They're just movies. Okay, they don't have layers, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make a new composition, Apple N for a new comp, like this. I'm just going to call this one No Overlap. In other words, we're going to sequence these videos without overlap. So okay that. And it was 1 minute long, 25 frames per second, the usual 1280 by 720. Here's a little tip here. If you open this up and you put it to fit to 100%, you'll see this window will just adjust up and down depending how you move this around. It's quite a handy tip. Okay, so let's get these videos. I'm going to select the first one, hold the Command key down, and select the rest like that. And I'm going to simply drag them straight onto the timeline. Now the first thing to notice about them, of course, they have duration. In other words, they're not a still image. What I mean by that is, for example, if I was to put some type into this scene by clicking up here and just typing something in like that, you'll notice that because it doesn't have any duration, it'll take up the whole timeline like that. And that's the same for a still image or a JPEG or a PSD file, whatever. Okay, you should be aware of that. So, but when you drag videos on, they don't take up the amount of time that the video lasts. Okay, so let's get to sequencing these videos one after the other. I can go Apple A to select all the videos like that, or I can select them in any order I like by clicking there, holding the Command key down, clicking here, and clicking there like that. Then go to Animation, Keyframe Assistant, Sequence Layers. Now we're not going to have any overlap in this video, so we'll just butt them up against each other. And you'll notice it's been sequenced in the order that we selected them. So let's just play that. There's the first video, a bit of stop motion. Again, a bit more stop motion, quite popular, done on a GoPro. And here's some iPhone footage and some more GoPro stuff. Okay, as you can see, it's much the same as sequencing still images, only they're just videos one after the other. Okay, let's make a new composition, and let's call this one Overlap. In other words, we're going to have a bit of a fade transition between the videos. To do that, okay, make a new comp, usual 1280 720, and I'll do the same thing I did before. I'll just grab those videos, hold the Command key down to select them, and just drag them down here onto the timeline. Okay, let's say we assume we're going to sequence them in that order. So if I go to Animation, Keyframe Assistant, Sequence Layers, this time I'm going to put an overlap. Now an overlap is again a fade or a transition, if you like. I like to put 15 frames, so I just select those two numbers there and type in 15 frames. So they're going to transition between each other over 15 frames. And in the transition here, I like to use the dissolve the front layer like that, and click OK. And let's have a look at that. The difference is how they fade into each other a bit more. It depends if you want that look. That can be handy, or perhaps you might want to butt them as we did in the first exercise there. Okay. So let's have a look at something that people always ask me in After Effects. How do I speed something up, or a video? How do I speed it up or slow it down? So let's do that. I'm going to make a new video. We'll call this Speed Adjustment. Like that. Again, the same dimensions. I'm just going to drag, let's just drag this one here. That's pretty quick already. Let's say, for example, the people in the car. If I drag this movie down here like that, and we'll just play it, and it's just somebody in a car. Now, why you'd want to speed that up or slow it down, it doesn't matter. It's hard to know. But the reality is you're going to lose a bit of quality. If you've shot at 25 frames per second and then you slow it down, it's going to start to add frames, so there might be a little bit of a quality loss. And if we speed it up, it's going to drop frames. So to do that, we simply, let's first of all set up our timeline by pressing the letter O, like that, to get the out point of that video, and pressing the letter N. So we'll just loop on the video so we can see it happen. That's what we want. Okay, now to adjust the speed, I simply select the layer and go to Layer Time, like this, Time Stretch. This is quite a simple dialog box. Anything under 100 will speed it up. Anything over 100 will slow it down. For example, if I was to type in, I'll be very dramatic, say 30, like that. You'll notice how the length on the timeline of your video is a lot shorter now. If I play it, it's a lot faster. I might Apple Z that. And do the same thing if I go to Layer Time, like this, Time Stretch. This time I'm going to, let's be dramatic again, 400%, a stretch factor. You'll notice now on the timeline the movie takes up a lot more time. So let's play it. As you can see, it's a little bit jerky because it's making up frames. What it's doing is doubling up frames and all sorts of things. And that's why we sometimes shoot at a high frame rate, like 50 frames a second, for just situations like this. But as you can see, if you want to speed up or slow down your video, it's a simple matter of using the time stretch. And that's, if I click there, Layer, Time Stretch, like this. Okay, so thanks for watching. In the next video, we'll have a look at trimming these videos.